I bet. I think it's important as parents supporting, fostering the growth of musical talent like your family did. And as a result for you, you wound up playing multiple instruments like flute, guitar, keyboards, percussion, violin, auto harp. So did you continue to do those traditions with your own children?
I tried to, yeah. But because my kids really took playing music seriously, they have other interests. And so I said, you can have piano lessons, you can have guitar lessons. They asked for them. And then when it came down to it, one of them wanted to learn how to play the cello, but then when it came down to it, those things are really hard work. You have to learn an instrument, you really have to apply yourself. And they didn't have that fire in their belly, so they're doing other stuff.
Well, that's good. At least they had somewhat of the experience. They tried it, and maybe it wasn't for them, but, they did that.
Right.
Okay, so...
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Exactly. All right, so when you got to school and you played in bands, which later became Heart, and then you released your first album, Dreamboat Annie. So at that time, you had hits Crazy on You, Magic Man, which are awesome songs that are timeless. Were you surprised by your success with your first album?
Oh, completely, yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody expected it to go, as they say now, viral. I mean, we were just pleased to be able to get into the studio at all.
Okay. All right, so now you've had so many hits that you wrote, but equally impressive are the male-dominated songs that you've covered, like Manic Depression by Jimi Hendrix, and also my favorite Led Zeppelin songs like Stairway, Rock and Roll, and Battle of Evermore. So how hard is it being a woman performing these male-dominated songs and being taken seriously for your own impression of their work?
I think that it's not that hard, really, if you just to get inside those songs that were done by men first. If you just kind of feel and understand the song, it doesn't really matter which gender you are. I don't really go along with flipping genders in lyrics. I think that it's best just to sing a song the way it was written.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, you were also dubbed one of the top heavy metal vocalists of all times by Hit Parader, and that's for male or female. Was that surprising to you?
Yeah, it really was. It really was, especially because when that came out, there was such a big distinction between men and women in rock, and it was still so surprising for women to be in rock.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, you said that the stage is your magical place. So share that with us and tell me, when you hit the stage to perform, what's the first thing that enters your mind? Where does it take you?
Well, I go right down to the front and look at the people first, and I try to make connection with them even before the music starts, just because they're the whole reason I'm there. And it's like having a conversation with another person, only this happens to be a whole bunch of people. And so you just want to make sure that the way is clear between your brains. So I go down and I greet them just on the lip of the stage and make eye contact with them and then start.
Mm-hmm. Some artists have had stage fright in the past. Have you ever experienced that?
Yeah, I used to have it a little bit, but it kind of dissipated when I thought it through and realized what's the worst thing that could happen. The worst thing is that you could make a mistake or something, and it's just not that bad. So I stopped having that probably at the end of the 80s.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I recently had a conversation with Mike Reno from Loverboy, and actually your name came up. And, of course, he had a lot of great things to say about you when you did the duet together, Almost Paradise, for the Footloose movie.
Right.
And we were discussing about what you have to do to prepare for your shows in terms of your vocals and warm-up techniques and things like that. So what do you do to prepare before a show?
Well, what I do is I I breathe some steam just to coax my throat open. I try to sing along with somebody else's music for a while. And I don't do scales or anything like that to prepare, but I don't like to do sound checks because I like to save it all for the show. So I just generally just sort of gradually open up to the singing because rock singing is pretty physical.
Absolutely. Takes a lot of power.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So, how hard is it being a wife and a mother and maintaining your hectic tour schedule?
Well, it's not hard being a wife, but because he's with me. But my kids are pretty grown up now. They probably wouldn't want to be traveling around on a tour bus with their mom anyway at their ages. But when they were younger, it was hard to leave them. It was hard to bring them too. When they were about 10 to 14, they were all sewing and bored and everything on the road. So that wasn't much fun. It was the best when they were babies. They loved to be on the road when they were babies.
Aww.
But now it's kind of the most fun with just my husband and I.
Were you traveling mostly, were you on a tour bus or by plane?
We bought our own bus and we got it all tricked out just the way we like it. So we live on a bus.
Oh, that makes life a lot easier.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so now you've released your solo CDs, Hope and Glory, and the Ann Wilson Thing 1 and 2. So who do you have in your current band lineup?
I have Denny Longheiser on drums, Craig Bartok on guitar, Andy Stoller on bass, and Daniel Walker on keyboards.
Okay, very cool. Your new material that I took a listen to has a lot of a bluesy feel, sometimes almost Joplin-esque sounding. And I like I Want Someone Badly. One of my favorites actually is Fool No More. I really absolutely love that. And Anguish, that actually to me was like a cool cross between country and blues. You had that cool steel guitar going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Anguish is kind of swampy, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So now, do you relate more to this style more than in your previous songs, the 70s and 80s, or is it just a natural evolution for you?
It's a natural evolution. When I write with Craig Bartok, our guitar player, the two of us wrote Fool No More and Anguish. And because he's a guitar player, we have more range. And like anything he could do on the guitar, we could make a song about.
Okay, so you were co-writing with him on your newer CDs, your solo stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. So with such a huge catalog of songs that you have, do you have a favorite song that you must sing at every show?
You mean heart songs, I think?
Yeah.
Well, I think that would probably be Alone.
Ah, very good. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great choice. That's actually one we're playing. And as a vocalist myself, actually, that's one of the songs that I do, which I love. And there's so many of us female vocalists besides myself out there that are huge fans of yours.
Well, thank you.
Oh, you're quite welcome. So now that you've embarked on your solo tour, you have 20 dates this year that you've been doing on the East Coast, and you have a PA show coming up at the Keswick Theater in Philadelphia on April 6th. So you said you were traveling with your family, as we discussed before, and what about your adorable West Highland Terrier, George?
Oh, George. George stayed home this time because we have two dogs now, and to bring both of them out is kind of like having kids with you. And my husband gets no freedom at all. He's always watching the kids, so we decided just to sort of have a honeymoon with this and leave George at home. But he'll be so glad to see us when we get back.
Oh. Okay. So then what are you going to be doing after your tour ends? Are you going to be going back on tour with Heart?
No, I'm going to be touring with the solo thing all year long.
Oh, okay.
And then Dean and I plan to go to Mexico for a while and go to India for a while.
India.
And we're going to come back and decide what to do next.
Wow. That's interesting. Were you ever in India before?
No, it'll be our first time.
Oh, very cool. All right, great. So, what do you think about the state of the music industry now compared to when you first got your start?
Oh, it's unrecognizable. It's just, there's so many primary differences that it's almost even hard to know where to start. I mean, there's no artist development anymore. There's hardly any artist songwriting. It's all done art by committee behind the scenes, and then the artist just puts their name on it. People don't really want to buy albums anymore. They want to just stream things or just look at singles on YouTube or on one of the radio situations, online. So there's not really a hard copy exchange or sale or retail anymore. So you can't really have a career. You can't make a career out of just sitting home and making records and letting the records do the travel for you. You have to go out and travel and put your skin on the line.
Sure.
And in one sense, that's good because it's much harder to fake it when you're out there yourself, actually on stage doing it. You can't. You have to be good. And so I like that aspect of it.
Mm-hmm. Do you think shows like American Idol and things of that nature have been bad for new artists coming out, since they kind of...
Yeah. Yes, I do, because it makes it seem like you could just, prepare for one audition, and if you do well, then you'll have a career. And that generally doesn't happen. There's the fluke of artists like Carrie Underwood or, one of those who does well and goes on to be able to have a career, but that's so rare, I think that it breeds anonymity. Nobody sounds like themselves. Everyone just sounds all auto-tuned. Everyone's aspiring to a single way of singing. So I don't think it's been good, no.
Right, so they really haven't paid their dues like other artists who spent years developing their craft.
Right, exactly.
Right. So I can see where, there'd be animosity towards others in the industry for that reason,
Well, yeah. It's not so much animosity as I think it's just a difference of opinion, really. I just have a whole different thing in mind, which involves getting out there and actually connecting with people rather than sitting in Hollywood and being all styled and going on a flash appearance on Dancing with the Stars or something, which doesn't really do anything. It just, you get this 3-minute appearance and it doesn't even really sound or look like you.
Right. So now, is there anything that you haven't done that you would like to do in the future?
I don't know. I'm pretty satisfied. I just want to do what I'm doing really, really well. And I want to keep on experiencing life and being in love, and I want to travel and keep writing songs and just getting better and better,
Mm-hmm. Do you have any advice for newcomers who want to break into the industry?
Yeah, make sure that it's the thing you want to do more than anything, because the sacrifices are so huge. And you're really going to have to put your nose to the grindstone and just have a fire in your belly. And above all, you have to be really, really good. Because otherwise, you're just going to be another one of the lemmings trying to go to Hollywood and be a star. And most people don't make that.
Right. Well, we're thankful that we have you, Ann, that's for sure. And
Thank you.
we're looking forward to a lot more great music from you in the future and getting to see you out on the road. And I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk with me today on WDLS Radio.
Well, you're welcome. It's been great.
Yeah, so we want to tell our fans to make sure that you look out for Ann on the road with her solo act. She's going to be touring all year long. Like I said, April 6th, she'll be locally to us at the Keswick Theater in Philadelphia. And you can find Ann on Facebook at officialannwilson.com and also her website, annwilsonofheart.com. Well, thank you so much, Ann. You have a fantastic day, and we hope to talk to you soon. See you real soon.
Okay. Thank you for the cool interview. That's great. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day.
All right.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.